All right, hey guys, what is up? It is Bibzuda back here once again on the Outlast trials, and this is going to be the first actual trial for my guide series, where I'm going to be doing a walkthrough of each trial where I kind of over-explain everything I'm doing and thinking and trying to give people as much assistance as possible in getting A pluses in solo. That is pretty much my goal with this series. If you missed it, I did an entire breakdown of the loadout and what things you might want to buy and focus on when you're leveling up in the first video in this series, which will all be in a playlist together. So if you're interested in your loadout and what you want to maybe purchase with your vouchers, then go check that video out. Here with my most recently released, or I guess obtained reagent. I just released my 9th one, so I am on number 10 right here. But yeah, we are going to be starting out in Program Genesis with the Kill the Snitch trial, which is the first one, of course, in the list here. And this one has been around for the longest. It was the only full trial available in the closed beta of the game before it released into early access, and I played it quite a bit during that. So I have quite a bit of experience with this trial. Now, as far as a loadout is concerned, I know that maybe if someone's level 1 coming into this, you might not really have any options as far as additional loadout is concerned. So if you are planning on doing this trial, and I don't actually remember, honestly, if you start with 0 vouchers or anything, or maybe, yeah, I think you have to level up once before you even get a rig. But either way, we are going to be going with the blind rig for this. If you are still solo and you're level 1, you maybe want to try teaming up with some random people for the first few so you can get a level up and at least get your rig unlocked. I think this could be fairly reasonably done with only the blind rig. And in fact, let's go ahead and disable all of my amps. And I will go with no amps just for this trial in particular, at least, because it is the first one. And of course, I do still have my prescriptions, which I can't disable, but still, I think this will at least help to show how it can be done. And of course, my blind rig is level 8, but for this trial in particular, I really only care about having the blind for the very end and a certain scenario where you can use to make the trial a bit easier. The upgrades don't really come into play for those situations, so it's not too concerning if your blind is level 1, which I would recommend leaving it at. If you are going to be a solo player, I would recommend leaving it at level 1 and going for the stun rig mostly, because this is pretty much the only trial which I run the blind rig on. But yeah, that's pretty much my plan. If of course you do have the amps, I would recommend my standard setup that I normally go with, which is noise reduction, strong arm, and incognito. Although depending on the variators on this trial, you could go for smash, because there's a bit fewer of the smaller X-Pops in this trial in general as compared to others. There's a decent amount of the larger people around, which can't be really affected by your strong arm. And then incognito, again, of course, is just like a random one from the 3rd category, because there's not a lot of good amps in that category. And I probably won't be doing a load up like this for every one of these trials, but just for this one in particular, I'm going to be talking a little bit more here at the beginning. But in the future ones for this guide series, I'll be starting at the trial and doing the intro there. Additionally, you could take boosted instead of incognito if you want, but there is, of course, a secret room in this trial, which is going to give you all 3 of the boosters that are available. Now, I would say that you don't really need to focus on speed. That's one important thing. Like, I'm not really going to be focusing on going super fast in this trial in general, but here at the beginning, I feel like being fast is much more beneficial than taking it slow, so I will be doing that to begin with. But as a whole, your A+ grade does not count on being fast at all. The time has no impact on your grade. It's only how you perform in the trial. So the way that I and most people tend to prefer to start this trial is you kind of just can skip the outside section that's outside of the prison and immediately get inside by just running in a certain way to get through to the indoor area. So you basically just run straight ahead, jump over a car, and then get inside of this like truck that's at a loading dock type thing, and that'll put you inside. So that's pretty much what I do every time at the start here. So we're going to walk in and hold down shift to, of course, run. I am on PC with keyboard and mouse, and just run straight for this little car gap. And we actually got a poster here, which is pretty rare. Then you just jump up into here and then down to here, and you are basically in the police station now as you jump in that window. So that is a fast and easy way to get through there. And you can look around this room for items like bottles will sometimes be in these lockers or on this bench here. There can also be bricks outside. There's a brick spawn right there. You can always know where bricks might be spawning because there's that little pile of like basically brick dust on the floor. And whether or not there is a brick there is random, but you'll know that that's a spot they can be. Now, because we have no variators, and we do see a brick over here, because we have no variators, I do believe that there aren't any X-Pops that are going to be... I think there's a large X-Pop like on the other side of this wall. But with like the more enemy variator, there will be a Wolverine guy coming down this hallway. But currently, since there are no variators on this trial, he is not there. So yeah, I check that for no real reason. Sometimes I just open things just to do it. But yeah, we can come down this hallway, and we are now wanting to watch out for the large X-Pop. And the goal here is pretty much just to run straight to the security door thingy. Without... Oh, okay, so it's not even the large X-Pop, it's a small one here. Okay, so... Oh, wow. Okay, well, we had a jumper in that locker. Thankfully, that is why I highly recommend having that prescription, because, of course, it is... it does allow you to free yourself from the jumpers. Now, this guy... Okay, the jumper's gonna chase me. So, yeah, I wasn't really prepared for that to be a small X-Pop. I guess I was expecting the larger one. But I guess the larger one is what appears when you have a more enemies variator. But yeah, that's a thing you can do a lot of the time as long as you're having an isolated sort of like 1v1 with a single enemy. You just find a larger object in the environment like one of these desks, and you just wait until they walk around one side and you run around the other. But ideally, you just run straight past any enemies that are there and into here, and you are safe in here until you hit the button. And then once you hit the button, of course, this whole little cutscene thing will play. But after the cutscene is over, these will go down, and you will no longer be safe. You can also look around this room for items. There can be items in the drawers in that box. There can be bottles like up there. And it seems like we got actually nothing this time around, but still, there could be stuff around if you want to take the time to look. Yeah, I'm not too sure if I'm gonna do trials on like Program X that I've already done on Genesis here, or are they even overlapped? I'm not sure, but one thing I like to do here is just run straight for the Snitch if you just follow this pathing, because I guess it maybe doesn't happen on the no variators either, but on most of the trials this will open up and a person will come out, and then but you can beat it. You can beat the door opening and make it to the Snitch before it opens, but yeah, you just come here, you push the Snitch a little bit, lights will go out, and they'll come back on, like the backup generators activate or something, and we have to go down now to the basement to complete this section. And this also is quite a lot easier with no variators, because in the underground parking garage area there is often one of the X-Pops who is blind but can hear, and he is very annoying down there, but since we have no variators, he will not be there. When you're walking through this back section with the cars, you want to watch out for these guys. They are going to be on the ground or standing around, and if you walk too close to them, they will, of course, smack you. So keep an eye out. They can be like hiding in dark corners like there, or be like right around this corner. So just make sure you're careful when you're coming down here. But yeah, we are now into the underground area, and not having any items isn't ideal, so make sure you are always looking around for items. But once we're down here, we want to be looking out for a sign on the side of the doors that will say that there's a generator inside. There is Coil. Coil will be down here, of course. Coil is going to be the only enemy we have to worry about aside from occasional screamers. But since we see ourselves a fuel canister, we're going to grab it. And we can move this along to look for the generator. Now, like I said, in this open area down here, like this main section of the parking, there could be the blind guy, depending on the variators of the trial. And if he's around, it again can be quite annoying navigating around, especially if your generator is out here. Now, we got a pretty generous indication of where our generator is. It's actually inside the gate over there. So we can head in that direction and grab this bottle on our way by. It can be beneficial here to set up your blind rig while you're doing generator stuff to potentially save you if someone ends up coming sniffing around. I think Coil is on this side. Oh my god. Yeah, guys, turns out he is over there. I was going to say, I think Coil is on this side of the area, so I was going to set my blind up there, but best not to waste it when he's just walking through. And we have 2 bricks in that corner, which are nice. That for sure is probably going to lock that, isn't it? Well, either way, I'm going to put my blind right there in preparation for him to come back whenever I go ahead and start the generator. Or oh, did he just walk? Okay, he's right there. How loud is this? Can you hear that? No. Okay. So yeah, we're going to fill up the generator and then do the little switch flippies and pull the cord. And honestly, I'll probably take the long way around to check for the secret room. There is one potential secret room location that can spawn in this basement area. So I usually recommend going for the secret room on the larger trials because it is very valuable to have those boosters, particularly the stamina booster. But yeah, we just pull the ripcord 3 times in the green zone. We are good to go. And yeah, I assume Coil is going to be coming from the other direction from the main garage. So we can go through here, back through the bathrooms and stuff. And there's a bottle that we can grab right here. Also keeping a lookout for any posters. Also for anybody who's very new, make sure you crouch before you open pretty much any door. There's no reason not to do it. And if there's a trap on the door, that will prevent you from taking getting hit by the trap. As you can see, that is what indicates a trap, that red light. So if I crouch, trap will go off and shoot over my head and not hit me. This is the room that could potentially be the secret room. Unluckily for us, it is not the case this time around, so we can head back into the main garage area here and look to head back upstairs. Looks like Coil saw me there, so not ideal. But yeah, as you can see, the blind mine was rearmed because of my additional thing, so Coil must have come in there and set it off, but we were able to just quickly run away and open the garage door and be out of there. But yeah, I would like some feedback in the comments, I think, if you guys don't mind. Should I do a walkthrough of these trials on the other variations of them as well? I'll have to look at the list, but I don't know if this trial is in Program X with some variators. I'm not sure how I should do things, but at least the general strategy I'm going to be hopefully getting across in these videos. We get back now to the Snitch, and you just got to push him all the way up to the TV here, and the big X-Pop will normally be here, as far as I understand. But I'm not sure if it's different because of the fact that we have no variators. It seems like the more enemies variator adds a lot more than I thought, because there is nobody here. However, if there is a large X-Pop there, there's an interesting little thing you can do to trap him in the outside area, which can be very useful on the more difficult trials. So that could be something I will show in a different edition. But you just go in there, grab your key, and then, well, we saw that guy. I'm going to go ahead and push him all the way here. You can either do this, or if you are in trouble, you can... Okay, so we can show the thing you can do. Unfortunately, we didn't get to push him all the way to prevent him from rolling backwards, but basically there's a large X-Pop that's going to be roaming around the areas near the first gate. So what you can do is you can come back all the way to the hallway that leads you to the underground parking, go underneath this garage door, and then open up this barred door right here. And what you can then do is put down a blind mine right here. And what we're basically going to do is we're going to trap the large X-Pop in this area, because this area only has the garage door and the barred door leading into here, and there's none of the enemy elevators in this area. So basically the X-Pops don't know how to use the barred door or the garages. So if you close the barred door and then go back out through the garage, you'll be able to basically trap the guy in there, and he won't be able to bother you for the rest of the trial, which can be very helpful. So we're going to go ahead and finish this push. I'm not sure where the guy has gone. Make sure you look at the TVs to get the hint to show up on your UI. Yeah, where did this guy go? Okay, well, we have that available to us later on if he ends up being a nuisance, but for now, since he's not around, we will just continue through. I like to go through the bathroom to get to this side. Watch out for the broken glass. Yeah, we can look at our second TV, and then we'll head through to the third TV down here. And there's a very specific strategy I like to do for this trial, which requires you to not open the third gate until the right time. So don't open the third gate even if you get the key very early. Also, I want to just say like a conceptual how to find the keys thing for this trial, which I've mentioned in other videos, but for this guide series, I want to make sure I cover it. So basically, the way the key distribution works is this trial is kind of broken up into 3 different sections. There's this left-hand side section over here, which encompasses this whole area. The evidences has the laboratory here, the rooms in the back over there, the interrogation room, all that stuff. Then there's another section, which is like the back area, which is outside mostly, but also has a few rooms on the inside, like I think that's like the reception area and stuff. Oh, hi, Mama. What are you doing there? That's weird. And then there's the other fourth section, which is over on the other side over there, which has like the administration area and stuff like that. And generally, there will be 1 key in each of those sections that you need, although there can be some like overlap in between. Like if there's a key like way over in that corner, there could still be a key over here, or there could still be a key outside. It's kind of like uncertain in that regard. But yeah, I usually like to start on this side and search from here, because there's also a potential secret room spawn out here. If you come out here, this door, that could be the secret room. Unlucky for us that it is, again, not the case. We can head in here through the evidence area, and there can occasionally be a key corpse in here, but it is kind of rare. However, we did get a poster. Again, make sure to always be looking for posters. And then here in the laboratory is another potential secret room spawn, which we did get this time. If it's not here, there's only one other place it could be, I believe, which is in the administration area. And I'll point that out when we go over there. But you just find the 2 buttons that are nearby, hit them both, and you have access now to the secret room. We can grab a rig recharger, which you want to save for the end of the trial. This is additionally a part of my strategy that I use to do the electrocution part a lot easier. And then just grab all of the boosters for yourself to be much stronger now, especially the double stamina is very helpful. And it sounds like we have someone right in here that is maybe hearing us. I'm not sure where they are exactly, but yeah, we now have the secret room found, and yeah, there's our friend there. So there's this smaller X-Pop that will be patrolling the area over here, but we're looking now in this interrogation back offices area for any potential key corpses, and there is one right here, which is the eyeball, which we do not need. And there can be one in here. One thing you can do to make things a little bit easier is just peek through the window here, and we don't see any over in that room, so we have no need to go in there or break the glass or anything. There is the potential for one to be, and one that oh, we have the pusher coming out, and I was about to say one that I often miss is right there, and it is there. We got it highlighted for us. Of course, when the pusher comes out, you want to be a bit more careful. You don't want him to know you're there and grab you, and that was pretty close, but yeah, you want to avoid his psychosis as much as you can. And feel free to like hide under a desk or whatever you want to be more safe. But yeah, this one I find I can often forget about because I'll go look through the back areas there and then not remember that this one can be here. And it is actually one of the keys that we need, being the spade. So we're going to grab it. And now this pretty much like rules out the rest of this area from having another one of the keys that we need for the most part. There are some like very rare scenarios where it can happen, but usually if there's going to be 2 keys in this area, one of them will be in the evidence room, and then the other one will be like in the interrogation rooms or a bit further away. So we're going to take that on faith and go ahead and just completely run outside here. And we can look around outside for our next key. This is fire, which is not one of the ones that we need. There can also be a key corpse along there. And there we have one right here, which is looking like moon, which we also don't need. Continuing along, there is another one here. And that is star, which we also don't need. There could be one there, but not this time around. And we can head over into the reception area where there can be one on this desk right here, but again, not this time. However, there was one in the room as well, which is the diamond that we do need. So yeah, that's pretty much the breakdown of where almost all of them can be in the outdoors area. There can be one in this room sometimes, which is a little bit less common. And we do have our final poster here. Make sure you're always looking out for posters. There can also be one like here, one there, and those are also kind of counting the outside area. But now we're going to head into the administration section, which is right here, and this is where our final key corpse will be. Could be this one, and it is, but there are several other places it could be. But as you can see by my little demonstration of the locations, this is like the third section, and we did have our final key there. And I guess I will just demonstrate this for you guys to see, just to make sure you know how to do it in case it will help you. And it's especially useful on the more difficult versions of this trial, which have variators, obviously. So you just need to lure this large X-pop all the way back outside with you. And you know, they aren't the quickest until they go for a haymaker swing on you. So just make sure they don't lose you. You shouldn't have too much issue as long as you don't run around a corner. But they do have to duck under stuff, and that takes them a little bit of time. Yeah, you come back out here, you go inside, and you do have to be pretty quick with this. You might not be able to do this without the extended duration. Right when it pops, you run, close the door, shut the blind, or shut the bar, and then run back and open the garage. And they will hear you, but since the blind smoke is still out, they won't see you and be able to hit you. And this garage door will close, trapping them in there for the remainder of the trial. So it's a very useful little trick. It potentially might get patched someday, but it's not actually a bug. It's just a section of the trial that is possible for them to be trapped in without any way of getting out. So it's not like it's a bug, maybe an oversight if that's not something they want to have happen. But yeah, now that we have all the keys and a rig recharger, we are ready to go towards the end of the trial. So we're going to open the gates and push the snitch here. Not sure who that was that heard me. The administration area can also have one of the small X-pops around. Although again, I'm not super sure of where all the enemies are on these easier versions of the trials. Normally there'll be the large X-pop over there in the administration area and a smaller one. There'll be a Wolverine guy in this area, and that's pretty much usually the extent of them. But we were able to safely push this thing all the way here, and now comes the plan of attack for this final section, which can be very difficult if you don't have a strategy for it. So what I do is I will set up my blind rig right here, because when you open this last gate, coil is going to come out of that door. So you set up the blind rig, you recharge. We're going to open the gate, push the snitch in, and then set up another blind rig in here, and then basically sit on the lever until it's done. And that should be enough to complete the trial safely. So we open the gate, we push the snitch, and we haven't heard the door yet, so I'm not sure what's happening, so I'm just going to hop on it. A little bit confused as to what's happening here. I don't know how this trial actually works, I guess, on these lower difficulties. Okay, coil came behind us here, which is strange. But it should work out all the same. Normally he'll come through that door that I pointed at to begin with, and then you set another stun or blind rig up right there to my left, and then he will come out and hit the one right there, and then when he hits after he hits that one, he'll hit it while you're setting up your blind rig, and then when you put your second one down, you immediately jump on the lever, and then you can usually sit on it the entire way. And we're just gonna say hello to our friend here. Hello. Trapped in there, poor thing. But yeah, now we are good to go to the end of the trial. We can head down this way, and sometimes there will be an X-pop wandering around this hallway, so be careful for that. But with all these items, we should be pretty safe to just run out. There will be often coil and a large X-pop around here, but looks like we are not having to deal with the large X-pop, maybe just coil. Don't forget to smash the like button if this is helping you guys out at all. I really appreciate it. And then we can use all of our items to kind of fend him off. If you don't have as many items, one thing you can do to make it a bit easier to sneak towards the end is when you come out of the door there, you jump in through this window, and then you can sneak through this darkness and stuff and make sure that whenever coil goes over there, or you can like use a bottle to distract him, then you quickly dash out here and hit the button, and then maybe you can even hide in this trash can if that might be beneficial to you. But yeah, that's pretty much all the strategies and thoughts I use for Kill the Snitch. Again, it is quite a bit different with variators on it. We got an A+ in 20 minutes 47 seconds, which is not a super fast time, but we were going for the explanation and consistency rather than a speed run necessarily. And yeah, as you guys can see, no demerits acquired there. And that's pretty much the goal of these videos. This is going to be the sort of style I hope to stick with for the most part. But do please leave any thoughts or feedback in the comments and let me know how I can make these better and more helpful. And also, should I do these on different, more high variator trials if they are available? Let me go check really quick on the video of Program X here. And of course, as you saw, I did not use my amps in that trial at all. I'll probably use amps in the future trials just because, I mean, I feel like it's more likely for people to have amps, and then I can show them how to use them. But since that is the first trial in the game, I thought maybe it would make more sense to not use any amps. And honestly, even without the blind rig, I mean, you couldn't trap the large X-pop, but you could still have done that ending without too much trouble if Coil did that same slow spawn and came from behind me there. But yeah, let's see here with Program X. Cleanse the Orphans, Guilty. Yeah, so like there is this Kill the Snitch exam in Program X, which has increased threat, traps, limited items, limited intel, unreliable doors. So quite a lot of variators on there. I could still do an additional walkthrough for that, just to make it more clear on how things will often be, because Program Genesis is pretty much the only place you'll ever see trials and having no variators. Like if you're doing any weeklies, there's going to be almost always additional variators making more and stronger enemies appear. If you're doing events, same story. And of course, Program X is all about that, and Ultra is just even more difficult. So let me know your thoughts on that. I figured I'd kick this first one off at least with Genesis, just to make it, and the first one, the most basic trial. But again, let me know your thoughts in the comments on how I should approach these. Should I do one separately for no variator in Genesis, and then another one for the variator filled one in Program X? Let me know. I will see you guys though in the next video, and thanks for watching.